As an avid thrift shopper, there are certain things that I always look for and never seem to find. And this is the day that I actually found some of them. Hello, welcome to Show and Tell Meg. I'm Megan, and I like to make things, but I also like to thrift things. I have been a devoted thrift store shopper for at least all of my clothing, lots of my craft supplies, household items for years. I blame a period in my life where it was a necessity to shop in thrift stores, which it's not exactly anymore, but at the same time, when you can get shirts for like $1 or $2, I just can't bear to spend $30 on a single shirt in a store. So I am a diehard thrifter. I will probably thrift until the day I die. But there are some things that they are not practical. They are not necessities in life. But if you find them, I sincerely hope you grab them. And this is the story of me actually having one of those things happen. I had quite the epic thrifting week, and I decided to bring you along to show you things that I found. Okay, so the first store that I went to is a favorite of mine. It's a local church thrift store. I'm actually in my area. The best places to go are the small church-owned thrift stores. Corporate ones, they jack the prices up so much. I have deep, deep opinions of some of the chains of thrift stores. I say the only thing involving goodwill is us giving this store their merchandise. But this thrift store was a local Baptist church owned thrift store, and I find things in there all the time, and their prices are fantastic. Like, they're so fair. They are a store that is truly trying to give something back to the community, in my opinion. Things are priced enough that they can cover their costs of things, but you still get a good deal. Like, shirts are a couple of dollars unless you do a bag sale where you fill an entire grocery bag full of clothes for $4. I mean, that's just such a community service, in my opinion. This time, they had half off of their already very low prices on certain categories of things, and I picked up a few. So one of which was their craft supplies, and I'm never one to shy away from the craft supplies section, even though I certainly have more than my fair share. But I found this really cute kids bead set. I don't know that all these things came as a set or if somebody assembled this, but it has 3 layers. It has different colors of beads, different cords and things like that. But either way, even just the organizational aspect of this is great. And I know that my kids will enjoy being able to make necklaces and bracelets and things out of this. So this was only $3. So of course I had to pick this up. They had another of something that I always pick up when I find them really inexpensive. It is an entire set of crochet hooks. And this is one of the inexpensive ones you can buy on Amazon. Oops, I think they're like, what, $8 or $10 on there, something like that. They had this marked at $5. It was half off, so $2.50. I have a lot of opportunities to teach people how to crochet. I have a lot of friends and family members that they decide they want to pick it up. And so I like to always have hooks on hand when I can get them for a really good price, but particularly when it comes with the case and everything, I'll always snap that up. Another thing that sometimes I will buy and sometimes I don't is serger thread. These, if you have a serger, you will know that these are not cheap. I think even on sale, you can get them for like $3.50 is probably maybe the cheapest I've paid. I mean, I've probably paid less than that, but right now I think on sale you can get the Maxi Lock for like $3.50, and that's at like 40% off at Joann's. I got all of these for a little over $1 a piece. So these are all brand new and sealed, which is why I was fine with getting them. Sometimes the older ones, the thread can get brittle, and I don't necessarily trust that. But I got 2 in this like hunter green and 2 purple, which I like to use for my top stitching threads. That's a serger hack. You can do different colored threads in the needles versus in the overlocking section. So I will usually do these in the needles and you leave the overlock section like black or gray or white or something like that. And they also had 2 more that were only 50 cents a piece because they were open in navy, and that's a great basic color. They also always reuse bags, so I ended up with this zipper bag to keep everything in. This next batch of stuff was found at a slightly farther away, but still relatively local to me, thrift store that benefits a school. And so the nice thing with that is that all the teachers and other people associated with the school naturally donate to them. And so you get really nicer, upscale, newer, casual clothes, work clothes, let's say, but you get other places that they want to also benefit the school. So they get a lot of really good donations. I get really good yarn and clothes and board games and things like that from them. So this time I went and they had a skein of Bernat baby blanket sparkle. I usually don't buy this in a store because it's just that thick novelty stuff. Also, this has glitter in it, which isn't always my thing, but the whole amigurumi made out of fluffy yarn has been so popular lately, and some of my siblings want some of these things, and I thought this was a cute color. It's a whole skein, and I paid $1.50 for this. These are like $10, I think, on sale, right? Isn't that what they usually go for? Because this is a huge skein of yarn. So that was a really good one. They also had easily 50 to 100 of packs of Dritz snap fasteners. I use these all the time, and these were 50 cents a pack. They're all the same size 16, which is 7/16 of an inch, but that's like the most common size that I use, to be perfectly honest. And yeah, 50 cents a piece. I bought $5 worth, so 10 packets. And part of me kind of is like, why didn't I buy $10 worth? Because these don't go bad. And I know I will use them. Like I use these for all kinds of sewing projects, even like improving things. I just did some for my dad. My dad seems to always need snaps on things. So now I have plenty of snaps. That store also has really cute clothes. And I've already worn this shirt, so it's a little wrinkly because I pulled it out of the wash. But they had this white basic t-shirt with this really pretty crocheted-ish looking neckline trim. I'm all about a white shirt with some kind of detail to it. So this was a steal at $2. I have truly saved the best for last in this video. So this is another church-owned thrift store, very close to where I work. I like to pop in every now and then. They do price some of their clothes a little higher, but they frequently do half off of their boutique. So anything that they think is a higher end kind of item, they price a little more, but then they do half off. And so I showed this one in the video. It's a Talbot's, I think it's actually a petite size, button-up shirt, which normally I'm not petite, but in a button-up shirt, because I don't tuck these in, this is actually the perfect length. And it's a lovely floral. I'm all about a floral button down that fits me. So it's got cute contrasting details on the button bands and everything, and on the back of the collar. Like, it's just, I've already worn this too. It was in the wash, but this is a great shirt, and I paid $1.50 for this. The pièce de résistance is undoubtedly my taxidermied langoustine lobster. This is a real lobster, and I apologize for the glare of you seeing my phone on the plexiglass, but yeah, I will insert a better video of this. But oh my gosh, I got, like, I love weird things. There's just a moral obligation when you find something that is truly strange, and it just needs to be appreciated and taken home. And this cost me $12. And it's not perfect. I will show a close-up of it. It is missing one of its little antennae, or whatever they call it. And it's a little darkened. You can tell that it's had its lifetime hanging up on a wall. But, you know, and I don't necessarily love, it's just a very plain, and it's got plexiglass. I'd rather have an actual piece of glass. So we're going to see if I can get this baby cracked open without hurting things. And if I can, I will be adjusting what this guy is held in. But I have named this affectionately Wallace Shrimpson. And a friend of mine has planned that we need to make some kind of an engraved plaque that says Wallace Shrimpson on it, which we're going to see if I can make that happen. But it proudly hangs on the wall in my living room so that everyone who comes to see me, which is no one, can appreciate the true fantasticness of this lobster. So I am beyond thrilled with this thrift find. In this area, you just don't find taxidermied items. I mean, taxidermy in general tends to be more of an antique store kind of thing. And so the fact that this church thrift store had this. I mean, I do live in Florida, so anything beach related, especially with a decor item, this is a little less weird than, say, like a taxidermied beaver or something like that. But I mean, if I find a taxidermied anything, I'm probably going to pick it up. So there you have it. I officially have found one of my bucket list thrifting items for sure. What's the weirdest thing you've found in a thrift store? This isn't the weirdest. I'll tell you that. I mean, the lobster, in my opinion, is not as weird as some of the other things I have found in thrift stores. But this is so fun, and I can't believe I now have my very own taxidermied lobster. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this little foray into my thrifting adventures of late. My biggest advice with thrift stores is just go when you can. They get new things all the time. And so even if I have just been there a few days before, sometimes I just get in the mood and have the time, and I'll swing in and see what else they've put out that's new. I do try to wait maybe like a week, even if I'm like really, really in a thrifting spin at that time. Like, I try to wait a week between going. It can also be so beneficial to find out what days they tend to put things out. But a lot of the time in these smaller church thrift stores, they're putting things out all the time. And just as they come in, they're pricing them and putting them out. And yeah, that's how you get your very own Wallace Shrimpson. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content from me, I would appreciate it if you gave me a like, subscribe if you want. I usually am making things, but in this case, this is one of my other favorite hobbies. And I'm sure there will be more thrifting content in the future if that's more your thing, but it will be very hard to top finding a lobster in a box. I hope that you have just as much luck as I had and find your own, golden unicorn of an item at the thrift store. And if you do, leave me a comment and let me know what it was you found. I would love to know. Until next time, happy thrifting.